And this is the last of our West Wycombe content until my next visit. And I did say in our last video, the apple orchard, that I would devote a separate video to this one, and it deserves it. The Church Room Loft on High Street in West Wycombe is the oldest building in the village, dating back to the 15th century. The building was originally used by pilgrims who stayed in it as guests of the church while on their pilgrimage, and has since been used as the village courtroom, the jail and stocks. The site is timber framed over 2 floors with an archway leading to Church Lane, as well as the home of the village clock that dates back to the year 1668. It is said that in the early part of the 19th century, one offender incarcerated in the lockup escaped by climbing up the clock chains and sped up the ticking of the clock, becoming forever known as Ticky Biggs. And here is that lockup and the clock you've just seen. The site was restored in 1676 and was used by poor widows in the 18th and 19th century as almshouses, before being an operating site for chair making, but was in a dilapidated state by 1900. It was restored again in 1914 as Belgian refugees were housed in the church room during the First World War. Whilst in the Second World War, it was used to house evacuees from London. These pictures are all ones that I've taken while I was there. Since then, it has been used as the church room for meetings, services and Sunday school, and in the 1980s a kitchen was fitted in order to serve refreshments. The building, along with St Paul's and St Lawrence Church in the village, was cared for by the parochial church council, who are the local volunteers. The council, however, were no longer able to afford the costs of looking after this old building, and it was put up for sale in October of 2022, marketed by commercial property estate agents Philip March, Colin Dune. And it sits pretty much not doing very much at all now at the moment, so although its future is secured, we don't know what exactly its future will hold. Here we see the town jail and lockup. You see the little slip porthole type thing in there that the jailer would have used to communicate and pass food through to the prisoners. Think of old Ticky Biggs in there. That's interesting, isn't it? I love anything like that. It's a fascinating little bit of history. Looking down into the high street from Church Lane, and you can actually sense and see the age of the building in these images, can't you? These were taken in nighttime mode on my camera, like my camera phone. And here it is, viewed from Church Lane. These images are public domain and I was given consent to share them, so photo credit to NewsQuest, and this shows the ground floor interior. This shows the clock workings, the inside of that. Up those chains Ticky Biggs would have climbed and sped up the clock. 1680s that's from. Much restored over the years. And this is the first floor, or the church loft. Used for storage now, as you can see, but where pilgrims once would have slept. It would have been busy with noise in the latter medieval era. And let's zoom off back into the past, shall we? with our image of it from 1905 over on the right. You can see its clock tower sticking out. It really hasn't changed all that much, and I love this image. Of all the old pictures that we will see of it, this is my favourite because it's kind of early for photography for a country place like this, and you can see everyone's out and has probably got their best on, making an effort to appear in the photograph. 1955 here, and we jump forward a good few years. Our building over on the left, the old church loft, of course, still not much changed. And you see the little wooden bench that's under the window there. There is still a wooden bench there to this day, much worn and used. This is looking from the high street through the archway up into Church Lane. There's a little Methodist chapel over on the left where you see the lantern there, which still runs today. I don't know what the denomination or religion of them are today, and over to the right is where the old vicarage is but is no longer used as the vicarage. 1955, and we view the back of the building from Church Lane, a very steep lane. And we have to remember that until 1928, the road that connects all the way up to the church didn't exist. This bit did, leading up to the foot of the cliffs. But to make that journey up to the church, it would have been a pretty arduous journey for all our villagers, rich and poor. And for the pilgrims as well, making their way to the church to pray and to beg alms, and then being sent back down to this place to sleep and stay the night. 1960 we see here. And our last image, 1968. Pretty clear one this. You got the old church loft and church rooms there. And next to it, W. Palmer, newsagents, tobacconist and stationer. That's a house now, like a private house, that place. So, that's our little look into West Wycombe, and that concludes all our West Wycombe content. Hope you all enjoyed, and it will be back to the old London stuff from now on, till my next holiday. Thanks for watching, everyone.